How's it going, everyone? And boy, oh boy, are we coming up on some big game releases. And one that I have been incredibly excited about all year is Metaphor ReFantazio, coming out on the same day as Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Although Sparking Zero does have the early access gimmick tied to it and Metaphor ReFantazio does not. The official date for both of the games is October the 11th. I would have to say that Sparking Zero was my more anticipated game for a while. That is until this Metaphor ReFantazio demo has dropped. And before we get into some of the things that you should know before you spend your $70, we'll run down both editions, everything that's included with the 35th digital anniversary edition and everything like that. I will say, if you have yet to play the demo, please go play the demo. It's a lengthy demo, around 3 to 4 hours, which we know is really just scratching the surface of the entire game, where it is going to be around the length of a regular Persona game, and that is a lot of hours, but 3 to 4 hours is going to give you a good idea of the game. And man, did that demo, for me personally, shoot this game up from me being really excited about it to now I just can't wait. I cannot wait to play this game. After a variety of the different elements that demo brought forth, an amazing soundtrack as well. I will say, there has been those online that haven't vibed with the demo as much. That's why I'm telling you, go play the demo. It should give you a good idea on whether or not you want to drop $70. For me, it just got me even more excited for the game. So that's what it did for me personally. I will also say, if you are playing this game on PC, the demo is something you should absolutely play because there are some performance issues. There's a mod that has been released. If you go to the community hub section of Metaphor on the Steam community pages, you can find that mod pretty easily. After installing the mod, my performance got a lot better. Not perfect, but got a lot better. And speaking of, if you're going to be playing this game on PC, I will like to give you guys a heads up that the game is 10% off over at our good friends at Green Man Gaming. So instead of $70, it will be $63, and the 35th digital anniversary edition is 10% off as well. Instead of $100, it'll be $90. Yes, the 35th digital anniversary edition is quite expensive. And we'll run down the contents of said digital anniversary edition in a little bit. But Metaphor ReFantazio is coming to you guys from the creators of Persona 3, Persona 4, and Persona 5. Gone is the school setting, and here we have a fantasy setting for the game, which I am incredibly excited about. A little bit of a shift from the setting and the tone, an incredibly mature game, and an interesting story is being brought forth. The story notes this is a story of how people must find unity to elect a new king. Our story takes place in a united kingdom where the assassination of the king brings chaos and unrest to the land. Then one fateful day, a magic known only to the king called the royal magic is invoked, and the world becomes embroiled in a royal tournament for the throne. In the midst of this, the protagonist, together with his partner, the fairy Gallica, must find a way to break the curse that has been placed on the prince that the kingdom believes to be dead. To do so, they depart on a journey across the vast land. They will discover that in order to achieve their goal, they must participate in the tournament for the throne, and this great task shall require them to ally with many friends and followers of the various tribes inhabiting the world. The game's key features also note a mysterious and exciting story unfolds in a world where people must fight their own anxiety, join the high-stakes royal tournament that promises hours of captivating exploration and discovery. Ride your gauntlet runner to faraway dungeons and towns across an expansive world, discover beautiful landscapes accompanied by captivating music, immersive UI, and anime cutscenes. Let me break down some of those elements. First of all, the soundtrack. Again, the demo illustrates a pretty great picture, but this soundtrack is going to be absolutely fantastic. Some of the tracks that we were exposed to in the demo have been fantastic. The UI, I gotta say, incredibly slick, incredibly stylish. It works well, and I think some people might be like, okay, the UI is a little bit overdone, but I just think it looks incredibly aesthetically pleasing and has a lot of style to it that I don't see in a lot of other JRPGs. And yes, you do have a plethora of anime cutscenes in the game telling the story in key moments as well. It's an exhilarating turn-based combat system with a blend of real-time action. In the overworld and in dungeons, you have the ability to utilize real-time action elements, but obviously the heart of the combat is going to be in a turn-based system that is going to be familiar to a lot of you guys that have played various turn-based JRPGs, and certainly the SMT and Persona games especially. Party customization through archetype powers provides the freedom to personalize your own adventure, and the archetype powers are going to add another layer to the gameplay options at your disposal. You'll be able to go on quests, dungeon dive, and hunt for treasures by day, strengthen relationships, build bonds, and increase virtues by night. Very reminiscent of what's offered in the Persona games in terms of relationship building. Choose your actions wisely. Time management is key to achieving your goal. We have a few of the key characters already illustrated. The protagonist, which you'll be able to name. Together with the fairy, he embarks on a journey to lift the deadly curse placed on his childhood friend, who is the prince. He is a boy of the Elder tribe, branded as a tainted people by the state religion, who believe that they have inherited dangerous and heretical magic. Being so rare among the populace, they are detested and discriminated against throughout the kingdom. You have Gallica, the supporting fairy, alongside your main protagonist. Not only a traveling companion, Gallica is the guide who helps the protagonist carry out his mission to save the prince. Although she is too small to participate in battles, her knowledge of magic and ability to sense Magla is superior to the protagonist due to her fairy nature. She doesn't mince words, but she is a reassuring ally on his journey. You have Strahl. He's a young man of the Clemmer tribe who meets the protagonist in the recruitment center for the state army. A smart young man with a strong sense of justice, he hails from a noble family, and yet it seems his circumstances are complicated, as it is rare for a noble to enlist in the army alongside commoners. You have Hogenberg, a knight and former member of the royal family's Kingsguard, who served by the prince's side. Despite her young age, she excelled in the use of various weaponry and was assigned the personal guard of the prince. But when the prince was attacked, she failed to protect him, and so her story continues. Heisme is there as well. Heisme is a former knight. He has acute perception compared to most others, due in part to a trait of being sensitive to sound. With an appearance that differs greatly from other tribes, it's not uncommon for him to be discriminated against, and it seems Heisme is no exception, is past his own burden to bear. Obviously, this is just the tip of the iceberg for all of the characters that are going to be featured. You are exposed to even more characters in just the demo alone and the overarching entire game. There's going to be several characters for you to sink your teeth into. Before I round out this video, I obviously do want to highlight the various editions available. You can get the physical standard edition. That'll be available for $70. There is a physical collector's edition available as well. As far as where I'm looking, that's available for Xbox Series X. However, the PC and PlayStation 5 versions seem to be sold out in most locations. You might be able to find it in stock on launch day, where a lot of orders do get canceled. So be mindful of that. That is an opportunity that might be had to you. And that's just me looking at Amazon. If you go on Best Buy, Walmart, there might be an option for you to get the physical collector's edition, which is going to go for $150, and that'll include the base game. You'll get the art book, the sticker sheet, soundtrack disc, metallic pin set, a steel book, and you will get a 35th digital history art book and all of the in-game items attached to that. That is $150, and then digitally, the game will be available for your standard $70, and then on top of that, the Atlas 35th Digital Anniversary Edition includes exclusive DLCs to further enhance your Metaphor ReFantazio journey and commemorate past Atlas titles. This is seen as a bit of a celebration of Atlas. You'll get the digital base game, digital art book, digital soundtrack, Atlas 35th digital history art book, Atlas 35th digital all-time best soundtrack, over 50 DLC costumes, battle BGMs, and jingle sets, including Shujin Academy school uniform, Golden Yasogami high school uniform. You'll get over 50 DLC costumes, battle BGMs, and jingle sets all included within the game. Now, this is all cosmetics and uniforms celebrating various titles. It's not something that's essential, but if you've been a longtime Atlas fan, certainly that might be something you want to check out. As far as performance goes, that is something that has been criticized. I will say, playing the PC version, they are aware of the issue and the prologue demo optimization issues. They put out a post a few days ago, so they are working on that. Hopefully that'll be remedied by launch day, but there is a mod available right now that will immediately fix those performance issues. At least put it at a state where I do think it's a much better experience, and it is Steam Deck playable, noting that the issues are some in-game text is small and may be difficult to read, and the game requires manual configuration of graphic settings to perform well on Steam Deck, so keep that in mind. The game is available on PlayStation 4 as well, so not too surprising it can run on the deck end. While I would say the game is artistically really well done, from a technical visual standpoint, it's not like it's a completely blow-away game. Metaphor ReFantazio is due out on October 11th. Again, there is the base game, the Atlas 35th Digital Anniversary Edition. This is one of those instances where I do think the Standard Edition is going to be the one that a lot of people gravitate towards. There's no actual game-changing elements or extra story content tied to the Digital Anniversary Edition, much like Persona 3's Ultimate Edition as well, that released earlier this year. But that'll do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.